Hi and welcome to day 13 of my Inktober Tangles 2024 challenge. This is a tangle by Zentangle HQ and it's called Pouyang. This is a really good tangle because of the fact that it's so dramatic. It's got plenty of contrast of ink and uninked spaces. It kind of reminds me of a cross between something Snake Charming related. It makes me think of Snake Charming for some reason. But also, if you're not familiar with Pouyang, you'll see it starts to look like a sea creature. Look, you can almost see the motion in it. So we'll get started and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I love this one. I'm just going straight in with ink today. And the first bit of this tangle is to draw a little kind of curved line. Now it doesn't come all the way down. You can see the length of it is, it's not even an inch long, it's probably closer to a centimetre and a half. And you're going to ink this first bit in. I'm going to have it be kind of fuller in the bottom half of it, so that the ink is lighter up at the top. And then you're going to keep coming down with alternating lines. And you'll see what I mean as I go. So I've gone one line and then another line. And then we'll ink that in. It starts to form a shape that's almost like a garlic bulb or maybe a pumpkin or some kind of thing like that. It starts to get reasonably rounded. And then do that on the opposite side. So the way I'm kind of doing it, just to try and not lose my focus, is that I'm counting 3 lines ordered before I start to ink in the 2 most recent ones. Because otherwise, if I've lost my focus, I've ended up inking in the wrong space or whatever. But if you have inked in too early or whatever, do not worry about it. It will all work out in the end. I mean, you can see here, there's no pen line in the middle, so I've obviously lost focus myself. But it does not matter. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to round this out a little bit here. And then the next step of Pouyang is to draw a kind of spherical, roundish, not spherical, circular-ish shape. And then in this shape, we're going to do some more of these alternating lines. So I'm going to put down the first line and ink that in. Then 1, 2, 3, and then we'll ink in the most recent 2. One, 2, 3. And you can see that these are not like when we started this one, the lines were all starting from the same place. But when we go around this circle, the lines are starting from a different place. You're moving around this orb shape. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, and then so that would be inked in there. And so you can just repeat that going around in the opposite direction. I really like the look of this so far. I'm just going in a little bit into these original black sections just to add like where I've not quite inked in enough. And I think that looks really good. So we're almost mimicking the first line that we did in this piece up here. So it's a kind of curved line. And then it's going to meet with this bit down at the bottom. So it's the same principle where you aura, the lines working along in one direction, and then you repeat that in the opposite direction. So now I'm going to work it in the opposite direction. I'm going to go from the bottom up to here. Actually, that's maybe easier to do it this way, just so that my lines don't start to get all wonky. So you're mirroring the shape of the previous, not mirroring, aura-ing. But it's a really cool tangle once it's all shaded up. And then my favourite bit in this is adding the pastel pencil. It looks great. I'm just going to do maybe another couple of lines, and I think that is my Pouyang tangle done for the inking stage, and it's already, in my opinion, looking really good. I love this. I mean, you could, like the way that I've started it, I've almost lost the top bit of this first line. Sometimes like when you draw it, it actually has a bit more of a point here, but I still think it looks really cool. So next step for me is going to be putting some pencil down at the bottoms here of this first garlic bulb, and then I'm going to put some pencil on the inside section. It doesn't matter if you go over your black bits really, but I sometimes find that if you've gone over the black, the pencil can just make the ink look a bit shiny. So it's best to avoid it if you can. And then I'm adding a little bit of graphite in these sections here on the last bit that we did. And the thing is as well, when I'm doing these tangle videos just now, I'm hurrying them to some extent. I'm not completely rushing it, but I am drawing it quicker than I would do if it was just me drawing at home by myself for myself. When you're drawing this, take your time, draw as slowly as you possibly can, because that for me is when I really get into the whole mindfulness aspect of Zentangle. It's just me, a pen, pencil, and it's very, very, very relaxing. The slower the better. I just absolutely love doing all these shading and highlighting bits. So once you've blended your graphite out, you're going to move to your chalk pastel pencil if you have one and you're doing this stage, and then right across the centre of that first shape, just adding, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but you're just adding some pencil that's going to act as a highlight. And I haven't even smoothed that out. I just think that already looks so amazing. And then more of that in this last section. And then you'll know by now, if you've been following along, that the last stage is just smoothing out those chalk pastel pencil lines. And that is the Pouyang tangle. I really love this one. It's just, it almost feels like you could reach out and touch it. Looks very, very dimensional. And I think you'll probably see what I mean about it looking like a sea creature. It looks like a kind of squid or some kind of marine life anyway. So I've really enjoyed doing this tangle today. I hope you enjoyed the video if you were watching. Please consider subscribing if you have enjoyed the video, because all the followers that I can get, the better. I'm a very new channel, and I would love to have as many subscribers as possible, obviously. So thank you anyway for following along just now, and I'll hopefully see you for another tangle soon. Bye!